I'd like to call to order tonight the public hearing for Hampstead Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. It's 7 o'clock p.m. Will you call the meeting to order, please, Jim? Roll call.
Sharon Callahan.
Here.
Luke Onier is not here. Charlie Obermeyer.
Here.
Deborah Painter.
Here.
Barb Yeager.
Here. All persons are reminded that this session is being recorded on tape as required by law for the preservation of records and are asked when providing comment to give their name and address. All persons in attendance are requested to print their name and address and affiliation on the sign-in sheet. Tonight's discussion, order of hearing, discussion of the 2024 Carroll County Water Resources Element Draft.
And so basically this public hearing is just for us to receive any public comments that are related to the town of Hampstead's portion of the draft water resources element, which Carroll County has put together. It's currently under the 60-day review. So we're here, this public hearing, to accept any verbal or written comments.
Nora?
Nora, do you have anything you wanna?
And if we got any, we would forward them on to Carroll County, but it doesn't look very promising.
It does not, yeah.
Yes, well, there's really no discussion we need to do. We reviewed it and we approved it last July.
So we can then have a motion then to close the public hearing.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing closed. Thank you. Hampstead Planning and Zoning regular meeting, monthly meeting, Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Will you call that meeting, roll call, please?
Sharon Callahan.
Here?
Luke Onier is not here. Charlie Obermeyer.
Here.
Deborah Painter.
Here.
Barb Yeager.
Here.
Thank you. Again, all persons reminded this session is being recorded on tape as required by law for preservation of records and are asked when providing comment to give their name and address, and all persons in attendance are required or requested rather to print their name and address and affiliation on the sign-in sheet. First on the agenda, minutes approval, December 17th, 2025, regular commission meeting. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So approved. Zoning administrator update next.
It's going to be a quick one, really. The only thing on the water system modernization and centralization project, we are rolling along now. Tomorrow, we're going to have the pre-construction meeting for the construction of the water treatment plants. In attendance at that meeting will be MDE, Conowago, who will be our contractor building the sites, HDR and GMB, the two engineers we hired to work on the project, RK&K, who will be our inspector on the project, Green Ridge Environmental, who will be the MDE inspector on the project. Carroll County will also have their own inspectors here. And then we also, town staff will all be in attendance and involved in this meeting. Everything goes well tomorrow. We plan to issue the notice to proceed on Monday to Conowago and RK&K, at which point they will then start submitting. They have to basically do submittals of every part that they're going to use in this project. And it's got to be approved to make sure that it's BABA, which means it's built in America and bought in America. And we're hoping that once we get through that process, we can start moving some dirt and break ground in April. On the other side of the project, as far as the water mains, they were rolling right along. They finished task 1, 2, and 3, the last one being Shiloh, Panther, and Dakota. They had planned on Monday starting tasks 4 and 5 simultaneously, the last two, which are Shiloh Road going east, and then up Wellesley Court, and that's task 4. Task 5 is a small section on Lower Beckleysville Road that goes from the existing pump house down to the corner of Chief Sites Park, where the new water treatment plant will go. Snow has held them up some, so we're hoping we get a little 30-degree thaw maybe next week, and they can start getting back out there. They plan to have the pipeline project completed by late May, so which would be great. The timeline on the water treatment plants is just under 2 years, so we're looking at late winter, early spring of 2028 for that. TSC, they've resubmitted their plan again to the county. If you haven't picked them up yet, there's revised plans for the members of the commission in their mailboxes. Also back there is a copy of the guide to town and county planning process, which Lou requested last week or last month. That's really about it, what's going on as far as planning. That's it.
Okay, any questions? Comments? Okay, then we'll move ahead. Next is a review of Hampstead information for the 2025 Carroll County Department of Planning Annual Report. And you all have a copy of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, this is our annual report. What we do is we go through and look at all the planning and zoning meetings from the last year and everything that we did here. Me and Christina both do that. And then we also look at town council agendas and minutes to see if anything in there had to do with the planning. As you see, it was a fairly quiet year as far as any development in town, as far as finishing any development in town. So, if there's anything that you see that you think we should add, we can do that.
Stuff like Tractor Supply and all that stuff is not on here.
It doesn't go on here until the final plan is approved.
Yeah, so some of the things that we did include on it, just Jim and I are spinning our wheels about what happened recently. So we had the new residential development on Lime Drive was approved the prior year, so that's why you don't see it on here. The PFAS project, that was the only thing that received final approval on the non-residential side. We had the Noreen property that annexed in last year that we included up at 1705 North Main. And then the only other thing, we included Lime Drive, the road, because it was paved this year, although it is a private drive. It's not a town drive, but just for planning purposes and 911 calls, we wanted to make sure that they updated their maps to include it. So other than that, we didn't have any updates.
Just a quick question, not really terribly relevant to this, but the Noreen property restricted industrial, so it's not being used as a residential?
It is, but it was previously zoned as industrial in the county. It's surrounded by industrial,
Okay.
so we were like, just keep it industrial. If the house goes away, then it could fold into one of the existing properties or have an industrial use. And when we do annexations, I know that they don't come to planning and zoning, but they get reviewed by Carroll County Department of Planning and the State Department of Planning. And they both looked at that and that zoning, and they said that's fine.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay.
So if everyone's okay with it, basically, you basically just need a motion to approve the Hampstead information in the annual Carroll County Planning Report. If you'd like to review it for a month, you can do that, but
Is it necessary for you guys to review?
I think it was pretty concise.
I think we could go ahead. So what we need then is a motion for the Hampstead 2025 Carroll County Department, of Planning Annual Report. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so approved. Is there a second approval you need, Jim?
that's it.
Okay. Let's move on then to review and recommendation of Ordinance 558 to council for adoption. Have you had a chance to review that?
So I don't know, I hope everyone read that briefing paper.
Yep.
It's pretty cut and dry. So when any development subdivision of land comes through the town, whether it's 3 houses or 293 houses, it goes through the same process.
Right.
Which basically is a 9-step, at least 9-month process. Carroll County, that's what they do for most of their subdivisions, with the exception of 3 or less. And you can basically read their definition there. Subdivision of no more than 3 lots, where basically including the remainder, but does not create, involve, or is not contiguous to or in the path of a planned new road, street, or highway. So basically, we just want to follow that process the way it is now. It can go through Carroll County's process in 2 months, 3 months, where it would take a developer, someone here, an owner, landowner, 9 months to get it through us. And basically, there's no new roads, there's very minor stormwater, there's no extension of any major utilities. It's basically just 3 houses. And of course, town staff will do what we always do. We review it for setbacks, zoning districts, things along those lines, make sure that they do the correct improvements that's in the code. But that's it.
So anything 3 or less, we're basically just turning it over to the county for their process.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Besides the zoning and the setbacks and stuff like that.
Right, and what it'll do is at the end, once the final has been approved by the county and the town, then it would go basically to Sharon. Sharon would be involved and see the plan as chairperson, and then Sharon would either sign off on the plan or say, no, I think this needs to come to the full commission.
Depending on what it is, yeah.
Right,
So it takes a 9-month process and drops it to 3 months, basically.
possibly too.
2 or 3, okay.
Yeah, because not only, when they submit a minor subdivision plan to the county, they can give concept and preliminary, where we do it in 2 steps. That's one plan that goes in for a minor subdivision. Then at the same time, they can actually submit their final. So they're reviewing everything at one time, and they can just blow right through it.
What was the spark that caused this to happen now?
We have one that's coming into the works. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Many other municipalities in Carroll County already do it this way. So,
And actually, when we started to look into it, we found that we define a minor subdivision in our code, but we don't have a process for it. So we felt like something was missing in the code, where it's like, oh, we have a major and a minor, but we only have steps for one way, instead of, making it that you have major development that takes a lot of steps and a minor one that takes less.
Any other discussion? Thank you, by the way, thank you. If there's no other discussion, so we need a recommendation for adoption of ordinance 558.
basically, you need
We need that?
a motion to recommend ordinance 558 to council for adoption.
For adoption, okay. So you said that very well, Mr. Jim.
So moved.
So moved. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
And no further discussion, so approved. Thank you. And again, so approved for council for adoption.
Yes.
Carroll County Department of Planning update.
So we actually didn't receive anything
Oh.
from the county
Okay.
this time. I don't know with the weather, I know they were out of the office a couple of days, but as soon as she sends it over, I'll make sure that you all get it. But
Okay.
we didn't receive anything from them this time.
Carroll County Department of Planning is also very understaffed right now. I mean, Andrew left and a few other people left, so I know that they're all doing multiple tasks.
Okay, is there any other business? The only thing I'd like to add is that I am very thankful for the wonderful job that our Hampstead
Public Works.
Public Works Department, thank you, has done such a wonderful job cleaning our sidewalks and streets, or not sidewalks, forgive me, cleaning our streets and making these streets passable in this tremendous amount of snow and ice that we've had. everybody in my little neighborhood has commented to me how happy they were with how this was been handled. And so I just want to go on record to say thank you. I much appreciate it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
It's
nice
quick.
having all the cars off the streets so they could, it would
Right.
be easier for them.
And honestly, we need to say thank you to the residents of Hampstead for moving their cars
Yes.
off their streets, because they made it a lot easier. It was very, very good, and hopefully we can do that every time we're expecting a major snow.
Yeah, I was hoping I
Go
could
ahead.
get some
I'm hoping that
volunteers
we
to
don't have
park
any
in my
more.
driveway, so I
2027
didn't have to shovel.
Yeah.
I was like, who wants to park?
No, I was amazed at watching them, how they worked, how careful they were. And on a cul-de-sac, that's not easy to
No.
do. And fortunately, everybody was off the cul-de-sac except for 2 cars parked at the end closer to Ralph Avenue. But they still did an incredible job getting around them, and I was just thrilled. I was very happy. When I left for work yesterday, I was amazed as I went up Main Street, because that's the way I went to Westminster, because it's a safer ride than the back roads I normally take. So thank you.
I will make sure to pass everyone's words on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, if there's no public comment, because there is no public except that darling little girl. So may we have then a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So approved. Thank you.
Thank you.